My choice for my memoir subject was Jesus of Nazareth. I picked him because I thought he'd be a really good challenge, and because it was very interesting to see how I would be able to put myself in the shoes of the person who I was trying to write about. The 21st century skills I used was information skills, thinking and problem solving skills, and social-directional skills. I really hate procrastinating, but I tend to get distracted very easily, so I tend to procrastinate a lot. And this was like really hard because this project was due at a certain point in time, so I had to pace myself. And considering that it was kind of frustrating trying to put yourself into someone's shoes who went through a lot of stuff, it's pretty difficult. Thinking and problem solving, as I just said, the character I chose to do a memoir on his death, and because of that, it made writing more tough because I'm not the greatest writer in the universe, but I like to write, and usually it comes easy for me, but it was a little harder this time. It was more of a thought-provoking thing, and I like that. I used information skills because we had to research our characters, so I just took out a Bible and some search engines, and I wrote. My tech product that I chose to do was a mini trailer for my writing, which you would not understand unless I read it, so I will read it very quickly to you. Surely not I, Rabbi. Pain flashed through my body like a million glass shards. Every blow they gave me caused memory to come back and taunt me, making my flesh want to give in and agree with what they're saying. They stripped me down, my clothes fell to the floor like rain. I knew it was all over then. All they left was just pure innocence and instinct. They watched me as I gradually began to show the pain I was feeling. I reached towards the heavens, my flesh willing for the pain to leave me. I knew what had to do, what had to happen, but I accepted it because I loved them. My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. My flesh was screaming at me, take it all away. The pain in my soul that I felt as they laughed and ridiculed me circled and circled and was overbearing. They would pick me up and throw me down. They dressed me in their finest robes and pretended to love me. I could feel the pain that I was feeling spread across my face. I began to slowly take the burden from every blow they gave me. My knees gave way like they were made of jelly. They began to force me up off the post that I was tied against, and I could feel the blood streaming down my face. I could barely see the surroundings around me. It took a while to register the faces of the people who I passed by. Finally, when we got to a certain point, they picked up a cross and put it on my back. My body crumbled under the weight. They struck me blow after blow. Then they finally brought a random person walking along the road, and they forced him to carry the cross. His name was Simon, from Cyrene. I could barely walk on my own, let alone in a straight line, while they jabbed me with their spears to keep walking. I saw her, from the corner of my eye, my mother watching me. Her eyes widened in horror. She tried to make her way through the crowd. When she finally reached the front, she tried to walk up to me, but was numerously pushed back. I saw the tears streaming down her face as she clawed her way towards me. She dropped in front of me and tried to pull me away. I watched her as she saw that I didn't try to get up nor go with her. The guards walked over to her, and I knew that she knew she had to leave, but she didn't want to. She finally got up and ran off. Are you the Son of God? Pilate had asked me not long before. You do right in saying that I am, I replied. Are you King of the Jews? Pilate asked once more, as he for a way to clear my name. Yes, it is as you say, I replied. The memories of everything were slamming in my head like a battering ram, refusing to leave me. "Away with this man, and release Barabbas to us. Crucify him," they shouted. Their shouts were so numerous that Pilate had finally decided to do what they so desired. Those memories were so painful to me. They would rather have a murderer than me? I knew that this was going to happen, and I knew it was going to hurt. It was like a knife to my heart and soul. They finally put me to the cross and placed me right next to the criminals. They had signs above their head reading their crimes, but mine said something completely different. "This is Jesus, King of the Jews. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing," I said, sending up this small prayer. There were two men on either side of me. One of them began to hurl insults at me like warriors throwing a javelin. "Aren't you the Christ? Save yourself and us!" The other man on the side of me rebuked the man, saying, "Don't you fear God? Since you are under the same sentence, we are punished justly for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he turned to me and said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." I looked at him and said, "I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise." My breath began to slowly disappear from my throat as I took my last breath to call out, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." With that, my spirit left my body. I loved the world so much that I gave myself up for all of them. I wish them all well on the path to the rest of their lives. This is kind of like the scenario playing with pictures of the people that I got offline. Most of them are from The Passion of the Christ, the movie. I cannot watch that movie. And it has music. This is Judas Iscariot from the beginning of the story. Okay, disclaimer, this guy is not from Lord of the Rings. Everyone keeps saying that, and he's not. Yes, this is the wrong woman, but I couldn't find a good picture of Mary, so that's what I pictured. Oh, this is in a completely different language. It's the only picture I can find, and it says, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews."